Southeast Queensland has forged ahead over the past decade with new skyscrapers, tunnels and bridges. But some people have been left behind.
It's been a storm that is brewing. We haven't really foreseen what was needed in the future and acted at the right time.
People are dying on the street and they're almost being born on the street.
Homelessness in Brisbane and across the state's regional cities is on the rise, devastating thousands of lives.
My mental stability is going downhill fast. I'm not coping. Like, Mum's even worrying about me now.
You don't feel like you are real. You don't feel like you deserve to be in society. You think you're outside of it and you don't belong here.
While all states are struggling with a housing shortage, there are some pressures unique to Queensland.
Well, there's competition in Queensland now because so many people are moving up here. We see rents go up. Rents have gone up to over $200 in one hike.
Affordability of rentals is out of my price range, and bedroom space for my 4 children as well. It's just very hard to gain property that's adequate for my family.
Single mum Jasmine Sloan has been homeless since her landlord put up the rent a month ago. A charity, Micah Projects, is paying for a Brisbane motel room where she can stay with 2 of her children. She's meeting her mum by the hotel pool to discuss Christmas. 2 of her children are sleeping in the garage of her mum's small flat.
For the first time in my life, I'm not going to have all 4 kids together on a Christmas morning. Yeah, talking about the kids is hard. And they're the ones that, I can struggle, but not them.
We've got 90 families in motels just as one agency. There's other agencies, so that means there's well over 100 families in motels and hundreds when you look at Queensland as a whole.
The rent squeeze is also pushing younger people into homelessness.
So over the last 4 years, we've seen an 88% increase of young people seeking support. In the last 12 months, we provided just under 60,000 occasions of support to young people.
21-year-old Grace, not her real name, is being put up in a share house by the Brisbane Youth Service while she studies and gets mental health support. It's the first time since leaving school she's had a room to herself. Grace, you were telling me you stayed in a youth hostel for 3 years. What's the hardest thing about living in a youth hostel?
Sharing rooms with people, and because, they'd be doing crazy stuff. The rent is just really high. I would have, $50 sometimes for food to keep me going for 2 weeks.
The surge in demand for emergency accommodation has forced more people to sleep rough. So there's about 30 tents here now?
Yeah, give or take.
Support workers for Micah Projects show 7:30 around a homeless campsite in South Brisbane. There are up to 3 people in some of these tents. Most here are too distressed to talk to us.
Hello.
But 72-year-old Leong Lau is willing, and he tells us he's coping. But it can't be a safe place. Other people here have complained about being robbed quite often.
I'm robbed regularly.
Well, that must be tough.
No, I accept it. I also rent a place, a garage, to put my valuables, so I'm not robbed too much.
Leong Lau still keeps many of his possessions under a picnic shelter. He's a musician who recorded 2 albums in the 1970s and still keeps his flute nearby. Thank you very much. On the other side of the river, under the glow of the city office blocks, we meet someone who is faring a lot worse. How long have you been here for, Mick?
3 weeks.
What's it been like?
Yeah, rough.
Mick Sutherland and his girlfriend ended up here after coming out of jail. They've just had 6 bags of clothing stolen. This is better than being in jail though, isn't it?
No.
It's not.
No. Sorry, I'll be truthful with you. I'd rather go back, to be honest. We only did 2 months each, but at least you got a roof over your head, bed twice a day, showers clean, and get judgment from people walking past. thinking you're a crackhead when you're not.
The problem is essentially a lack of social housing.
We haven't been investing in social housing, and we know that social housing is what is needed most for people on low incomes.
The Queensland government is trying to rectify this.
We have the largest concentrated investment we've ever had in Queensland to deliver more social and affordable homes. So far we've delivered over 4,000, but we still have nearly 10,000 to go.
Do you accept there's been serious underinvestment over many years?
Oh, look, there certainly has been underinvestment in the delivery of social and affordable housing, particularly at a Commonwealth level. We've had the National Rental Affordability...
But at a state level as well.
Oh, look, over many years, there have been times where there hasn't been sufficient investment in social and affordable housing.
The Queensland government is also buying up hotels and motels to provide temporary emergency accommodation, such as this 84-bed complex in Brisbane.
Sometimes it might just be a short stay here when people just need a bit of temporary shelter and then they find something, but generally we're finding that length of stay is stretching out, and as an organisation we're not going to exit people onto the street unless they've got a proper solution.
If it wasn't for this place, I probably wouldn't be here now.
Jason Murchie spent months sleeping rough after battling mental illness. He's been in emergency accommodation now for 8 weeks.
It gives you the sense of security. You're finally safe. And then you can actually unwind yourself and go, right, I don't have to fight for survival every second of every day. What do I want to do now?
Building social housing for Jason Murchie, Jasmine Sloan's family and thousands of others will take time, as governments and service providers struggle to find a more permanent solution.
My situation is how long I'll be here is how long's a piece of string. And that's all I can say. I don't know. Could be tomorrow, it could be next week, so it could be next week.